Hey guys, this stream wasn't really meant to get that many people, but and I might delete it afterwards. Um, One thing I really wanted to say is I think this is a huge cycle. If you guys haven't noticed, if you look up the New York Post, you will see that there's already articles basically stating that this is what they're going to use for more gun reform. Every school shooting that's ever happened, they try to do this. The New York Post did. The New York Post basically did a story saying that we should have gun laws like Israel. Basically, that only military and law enforcement should have guns. So, I wanted to make kind of a point. I think almost everybody on YouTube, even the conspiracy theorists, agree that this was a real shooting. Get that out of the way. I've had people say, oh, it was a hoax, no one died. I personally know someone who said goodbye to their daughter. I don't want to talk about it. But either way, so this is a real event. It might be a false flag, and I'm not saying it's not. But here's what I do want to say. When we are all glued to our televisions watching, the television stations have ratings. They know that people watch this just nonstop. People are glued to their television, waiting after 20 times repeating the same information we all know, just for one little thing, like, he confessed to doing it. Fine. The thing is there are real murders. Back in the day of Bundy, Gacy, Son of Sam, we didn't call every last one a false flag. Now we know what a false flag is. People have been awake. We know what this kind of stuff is for. There is a good chance that this was just a kid that did not get any attention. Our school system is totally corrupt. Our school system does not pay attention. I went to a public high school and not one teacher knew my name. I was in a class of 40. Maybe others of you had a similar experience. I skipped half of high school. No one ever noticed. No one ever called my parents. I lost my parents early, so I can relate to at least not having parents around. But if this is true, that this kid pulled the fire alarm and had all these people come his way, then shot him down, it makes sense. A lot of it is weird because of the timing, and people jump in people's face right after this thing happens. But here's the thing. Now the 15-year-old kid that gets bullied every single day at school, he sees Nicholas Cruz get a month-long attention on the TV. And he says, I have no outlet, no friends, no nothing. Screw them. People are going to know my name. And in about a year or 2 years from now, someone else will do the same thing. And again, they'll use it for gun reform. But here's what is really messed up. If they take our guns, what do they take next? Then they take the next most valuable weapon we have, which is our voice. Are you dead serious that a reliable publication is saying, well, it would benefit us if just nobody had guns except for law enforcement and the military? Think about that. It just blows my mind that a publication would even put something that crazy out with a constitution we have. We can't touch the Constitution. If you want to be a different country, move to a different country. That's just my opinion. You can't alter the Constitution. If you're doing that, you're bending rules here, there. We've gotten along 200 and whatever how many years with this Constitution, and it has worked. Freedom of speech has worked. If we lose our freedom of speech, which now, as you know, there's freedom of speech zones. You can't say your mind right across the street from the White House. Fine. But they're going to make it worse in the future, trust me. This is literally another step towards them taking our guns, them taking our voice. Here's the thing I want to say. What about all the police shootings that have happened in the last year? I know, sadly, I don't know that many people, but I know 2 people that have had their son or daughter killed by police. The son had a 6-inch knife. This is Seattle news that happened. Mentally ill. Was 18 feet away from the officer. Got shot 14 times by Rambo cop. That's not talked about. Not until the sentence. Oh wait, he got off scot-free. What about the 50 people that get killed in Chicago in a week period? That doesn't trigger gun reform. But children does. 9/11, well, we can't go to war. Something like 9/11, everybody was up in arms. Everybody had the waving flag behind their car. I mean, did you see that? Do you remember 9/11? How literally people had the American flag on their plates. They had the flag hanging out their window. They had flags in their window. They had flags in their yard. We were an incredibly proud nation. And we were so caught up in our proudness. They said, yeah, let's track everybody. Let's make sure we can hear everybody. And out of our fear, we let them literally put these devices in our hands that now keep track of everything you're doing. Why do you think they put a camera on the front of your phone? They have now literally made us obsessed with ourselves. They want us to look down at our phones. Not only that, they can look at you at any time. There's people like the Facebook creator. He puts a sticker on his laptop, a sticker on his phone. There's good reason too. They can access any one of our phones. We've seen this with the FISA court. They don't like somebody, they can literally document every second of your life. They can go into your phones. They can do all this stuff. We don't actually have freedom. We have the illusion of freedom. None of us have freedom. But the freedom of speech is still at least something that we have. Our freedom to own guns. That is another thing. I'm not a big gun guy, but I do support the Second Amendment. And you should too. You know, these people that want to take all guns away and don't think anybody should have them, they have totally forgot that countries do get in wars sometimes. We are so far away from you living in your house and somebody riding up on a horse and saying, the British are coming, the British are coming. We are so distant from any kind of war that we just don't realize it won't always be like this. Whether it takes 10 years or 100 years, we could go to war, have an invasion of a different country. That is not unheard of. It's not crazy. And in fact, it's happening. If China and Russia invaded our country in 5 years from now, after everybody literally gets their guns taken away, then what happens? Just say this, critical thinking. What if, because we know that our country is not run by the government, it's run by families higher than the government, what if those families don't give a crap about anybody who lives in the United States? What if those people, they have houses in Europe and in Africa, in Timbuktu? They don't care about us. You guys do know the truth now that a handful of families actually run the world. That's not a conspiracy anymore. Mainstream narrative even basically admits it. Soros and the Rothschilds, these families own the world. They are above the law. They're above the banking system. They are the banking system. So when all this stuff goes down, would you at least want to have the right to have a gun? If another country is invading, you have your kids in the other room? I would. That's just my thought. I just can't believe that our country doesn't look at, if a 17-year-old truly did this, then why are we not looking at our school system, number one? Our school system let this kid fall through the cracks. If he doesn't have parents, especially at the time of when he got kicked out, he didn't have any parental supervision. Why is nobody paying attention to that? This kid was able to skip school, cause all this trouble, and nobody saw this red flags. He was so shouting out for attention, he was posting on Instagram saying, I'm going to be a professional school shooter. Now, if that's true, it might be total bull. Might be bullshit. I don't know. But when you see that many calls out to people saying, I need help, and nobody's there, there's going to be more kids like this. There's going to be more adults like this. Not all of them are CIA. The sad thing is, in the States, we don't want to admit, there truly is highly deranged people that feel so unloved and so bullied in this world. They are going through depression problems. They're going through all this other issues, and nobody is there for them. We literally need to restart our mental health lookout. We need to help people. We need to fix the problem, not regurgitate it. Literally, CNN, Fox, all these channels are repeating 50,000 times the kid's name, that he confessed to killing 17 people. Why do we need to hear it? And people, because they know our habits, they'll sit there and literally watch and watch and watch. You've seen the same story 15 times, but now they add, oh, well, here's a shot of him walking from courtroom to courtroom. I'll just keep watching this and drill that negativity into my brain. Why aren't they questioning, where were the parents? Where were the teachers? How did the teachers treat him? Where was he? Why? They're just pulling out 15-year-olds that didn't like the kid. That girl, I posted it for 2 minutes and I apologize. I posted the reporter saying that he talked to that girl. If you believe the official narrative, which, if it was truly a planned out thing, and I could believe that. He pulled the fire alarm. People take things out of context. I just want to say that one first real quick. People said, oh, there was a drill and then the shooting happened. No, the kid pulled the fire alarm. That's been the story since day one. Pulled the fire alarm, and he knew the routes. He went to the school. Schools do it like 4 times a year. They know where they have to go. They meet out in the field. If you are planning a shooting, you go, oh, well, if I pull the fire alarm, they're all going to walk this way. They're all going to go out to the field. Ducks in a barrel. People don't give teenagers credit. They are smart. These kids have so much potential, and we're not picking these kids out. These kids are going to run our country, and we're letting them fall through the cracks left and right. The school system is completely falling apart. Pay attention, not just to everything else. Pay attention to our kids. Our kids are going to take care of us when we're 60 and 70 years old. Do you want to sit in a nursing home where your nurse is looking at her phone and her virtual reality goggles while you push the button over and over again and you're dying? I don't. I just think this whole thing needs less. It's so funny because I think it needs less media attention, but I think it needs more legal attention. I think they need to take a whole oversight of this country and look at what's going on and literally fix the school system. These school shootings are not new. They keep happening. So is it a problem with accessing guns? It doesn't matter if we take all the guns away. People are going to access guns. The famous saying, guns don't kill people, people kill people. That shouldn't be, you should just have to say that. It is people killing people. People are evil. People don't understand this stuff. People honestly think it's the gun's fault. What if 5 people in 1 year picked up an axe and chopped somebody off? Would we then outlaw axes? No. If how many people get stabbed in New York and they don't outlaw knives? They don't even talk about it. Anyone can hold a knife and take somebody's life. Oh, but it's a difference if you can take 20 lives at once. Well, if you take guns away, people will make explosives. Do you want to see that? Make a tennis ball bomb instead of a gun. Oh, now we'll just have people blown to bits. That will be better. Oh, and then take explosives away. Oh, then they'll bring a flamethrower. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no taking away guns. It's not going to help. People are still going to kill people. It's not going to fix absolutely anything. So I just wanted to get that rant off my shoulders. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. I hit 10,000 subscribers. I want to ask help from you guys. I want to make this a bigger channel. Thank you for even getting me here. I didn't expect it. I'm working 60 hours a week. I'm trying to put out content when I can. Things like this just totally mind boggle me. I have to turn off the TV. I have to literally get out of this thing. So, have a good night, guys. And hello to some of my fellow subscribers that have been following me for a long time. You have a good night. Marf out.